It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? I remember having Leo Varadkar on, back when he was Taoiseach. The big elephant in the room was Brexit. He looked genuinely concerned, knowing it would change everything for Ireland. He spoke about the border as a living thing, where people cross every day. It wasn't just about trade deals, it was about peace, a delicate balance. He reminded the world that Ireland is a sovereign nation with its own future. The invisible border was a symbol of progress, and as we sit here today, many of his fears have come true. Sometimes the quietest warnings are the ones we should have listened to most. Remember when you could just pop over to London for the weekend, book a cheap flight, grab your bag, and off you went? That ease of movement was something we all took for granted. It was part of our relationship with our nearest neighbour. I built my career on that freedom. Hopping between Dublin, Cork and London was just what you did. Now, things are different. The simplicity is gone. There's an extra layer of bureaucracy, a sense of being other. The airport queues tell their own story. The all-passports lane feels longer, more formal. You have to think about things you never considered before. Will my phone work? How long can I stay? It's a subtle shift, but it matters. For thousands living and working between Ireland and the UK, it's added uncertainty. Economic ties have been strained, and you feel it in your wallet and on the shelves. But it's the personal connections that have been hit hardest. The hop across the pond isn't so simple anymore. Oh, Boris. Where do you even begin? He burst onto the scene with that shock of blonde hair and endless bluster, turning politics into a chaotic pantomime. The Brexit campaign was his stage, and that big red bus with its infamous promise was the prop. People were tired, frustrated, and he offered a simple solution. His approach to Ireland and the EU? Let's just say it often felt like he hadn't done his homework. Grand statements, bold promises, and a tendency to brush aside the complexities of the Irish border. For us in Ireland, it was terrifying, like watching someone try to perform surgery with a butter knife. Behind the charm was a relentless drive to get what he wanted, no matter the consequences. The complexities of Northern Ireland's post-conflict society were often ignored for a catchy soundbite. It felt like Ireland's peace and prosperity were bargaining chips in a high-stakes game. Ultimately, he got his Brexit. But the deal left a legacy of problems we're still grappling with. The Northern Ireland Protocol, the sea border, endless wrangling. Almost no one is happy. Boris has left the stage, but the consequences of his time in power are still with us. The show is over, but we're left to clean up the set, and the mess is bigger than any headline could capture. Beyond the politics and numbers, there's the human cost, often lost in the noise. I've heard stories of lives upended. A young musician from Belfast now faces paperwork just to play a gig across the border. Cross-border communities, families living in Donegal, working in Derry, suddenly feel instability creeping back in. The threat of a hard border brought old fears, a sense that their way of life was under threat. Small businesses built on trust and proximity now face mountains of paperwork. Old partnerships are strained, livelihoods at risk over a political ideal. For many in Northern Ireland, identity is complex. British, Irish, both, or neither. The Good Friday Agreement gave them the right to be any of those things. Brexit forced a wedge into that delicate space. It stirred up old tensions, created new divisions. This isn't just about trade, it's about people's hearts and minds. It's about the emotional toll of seeing your identity become a political football. The price is heavy, and it's paid every day. Sometimes, the real cost is the one you can't put a number on. While the political drama raged, something wonderful was happening in Ireland, a quiet revolution. The marriage equality referendum in 2015 was a turning point. I remember watching the results come in from London, feeling proud. Every constituency but one voted yes. It was a joyful shout of acceptance. Ireland became the first country to legalise same-sex marriage by popular vote. It was a grassroots movement. Grannies talking about their gay grandchildren, neighbours standing up for neighbours. It was a collective decision to be kinder, more inclusive. And then a Taoiseach who was openly gay, Leo Varadkar. It was done with quiet dignity, and largely accepted without fuss. Young people in rural Ireland could see themselves reflected in their leader. That saves lives. Social progress hasn't stopped. We repealed the Eighth Amendment, giving women bodily autonomy. We're grappling with our history, the role of the church, and forging a new Irish identity. It's been painful and challenging, but also liberating. It feels like we've thrown open the windows and let the fresh air in. Amid Brexit gloom, this rainbow of progress has been a beacon of hope. Ireland is not the place you think it is. It's better. We're still changing, still growing, and that's something to celebrate. The future is brighter than ever. Growing up in Bandon, County Cork, the world felt very different. A place of whispers, where being gay was never spoken about. There were no role models, no one on TV you could look at and say, "That's a bit like me." You felt utterly alone. My escape was London, a lifeline for so many Irish people. London was a place where you could be whoever you wanted to be. But it was bittersweet, having to leave home to find acceptance. I loved Ireland, but it didn't feel like it had room for all of me. Seeing the changes in Ireland over the past decades has been deeply personal and moving. The marriage referendum wasn't just political. It was my home country reaching out and saying, "It's okay, we see you, we love you." It healed a wound I didn't know was still there. Now when I go back, the air feels lighter. Conversations are more open. Young people today are growing up in a country unrecognizable from the one I left. They have a confidence and openness my generation could only dream of. Of course, it's not perfect. There's still work to do. But the journey from whispers to proud, joyful shouts has been extraordinary. It makes me incredibly proud to be Irish, and it gives me hope for what's still to come. For so long, Irish identity was defined by the Catholic Church and Great Britain, rebelling against one, comparing ourselves to the other. Our sense of self was shaped by hardship, but it was narrow. That mold has been broken. The Ireland of today is more complex and interesting. Walk down any street in Dublin, Cork, or Galway, you'll see faces from every continent, hear languages from all over the world. The new Irish have enriched our culture with new foods, music, and perspectives. They're our neighbours, colleagues, friends, raising their children as Irish, creating a vibrant multicultural identity. This challenges us to rethink what it means to be Irish. Is it about ancestry, or about contributing to our society and sharing our future? Our identity is no longer just about the past, it's about the present we're building together. Brexit, strangely, has forced us to re-evaluate our identity. We're no longer in the UK's shadow. We're standing on our own 2 feet in Europe, looking to Berlin and Paris as much as London. We're rediscovering our place as a proud, independent European nation. It's a subtle but profound shift. We're no longer the little brother. We're the master of our own house. It's easy to get bogged down in political drama, headlines about trade disputes and endless negotiations. But look beyond, and you see resilience. People on the ground, communities, small businesses, are just getting on with it, finding new ways to work and connect. The human spirit is remarkably adaptable. In the arts, Irish writers, musicians, and filmmakers are having a moment on the world stage. This creative boom reflects the social changes we've made. It's the sound of a country that's found its voice. Communities have rallied. Cross-border projects, cultural exchanges, simple acts of friendship. People are working to maintain bonds that politics has threatened. This quiet, determined work is the real peace process. The political landscape may look messy, but the cultural and social landscape tells a story of hope. A country is its people, not just its government. And the people of Ireland have shown incredible strength, creativity, and grace. So, where do we go from here? The journey through Brexit and beyond has been bumpy, but it's also shown us our strength. We've seen the damage of divisive politics, but also the power of social progress and resilience. We can't always control the political storms, but we can control how we respond. The future of this island will be decided by us, in our conversations, our support for local businesses, our welcome to newcomers, and how we teach our children. It's about building bridges, not walls. The next chapter isn't written yet. We all hold the pen. We have the power to make it a story of hope, inclusion, and progress. Don't be a passive observer. Get involved. Support artists, community leaders, small businesses. Listen to those who are different from you. Challenge old divisive narratives. Choose kindness. Choose understanding. Choose to be part of the Ireland that looks forward, not back. Our future depends on these small acts of courage and compassion. Let's make sure our progress isn't undone. We've come so far, from whispers to joyful, rainbow-colored shouts. The best is yet to come, as long as we choose to write that story together.